Hello, you weirdos. Jim here, and welcome back to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel, where I do have, indeed, some breaking news. This is really just breaking right now. And oh, jeez, I didn't hit it that time. Something is wrong with this software. It feels like I should now say that is my final answer, is what I should be saying right now. But the big news, a new book that will be coming out in April, a book called A Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, is written by Ram V. And this is one of those books where when things like this come out, people will tend to say, well, why aren't we getting, say, an Animal Man book, which I would love, or a Hawkman book, or a Firestorm book? And one of the things is, you have to let each of these characters have a failed series, at some point. This really feels like maybe it would be like, okay, we need to get the trademark going. Let's get Ram V. But really, in all of the jokes aside, this does feel like a character that Ram V will probably have some fun with. But who is this book going to be for? I'll tell you who I think it's going to be for in just a minute. But let me get to this. This was a story that was released by Polygon. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and read that. But here we go. The new Resurrection Man series hit shelves in April. I want to have some tagline, back from the dead or something like that, right? You'd like that. Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, 6-issue prestige format miniseries, which when I hear that, I hear Kashunda. That means it's expensive, right? And also, usually the 6-issue, and especially the prestige stuff, usually would be like a black label, but they're kind of transitioning into Vertigo. I don't know what they're doing. But Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, 6-issue prestige format miniseries will be written by Ram V with art by Anand RK. And you have V, Mr. V, and Mr. RK. Do it. Everybody with these initials, I am now going to be known as Jim BM. But that's not real sexy. So I'll go Jim FDTS. Falls down the stairs. That's what it stands for, because I do tend to fall down the stairs. That's one of my super, abilities. But here we go. And what I said was this whole thing, Resurrection Man by Ram V, it's for a very particular audience, and that audience will be just Ram V fans. I don't think that Resurrection Man has enough fans on his own. I don't know that people are going to just jump to this book. I think that people will end up who are Ram V fans, they'll go to it. Now, in the meantime, I'm not quite a Ram V fan. I have kind of been driven nuts by some of his stuff, but Ram V has come through with two of his more current books. The Dawn Runner book that he had out, the indie deal, was really good. I like that. And boy, that first issue of New Gods, I told people months ahead because I ended up getting an early copy from some sus deal. Some guy gave it to me, like he met me in the alley and gave DC to give it to me. But in the meantime, I really liked it. So it might be that play now that I am going to trust Ram V until I can't. I didn't like his Detective Comics at all. And I told people that I ended up at one point getting in an argument with Ram V on Twitter because of a review I did. I was still doing written reviews, and he didn't quite like my written review. And I got mad, but I didn't get mad because he kind of threw that out there publicly and shamed me. Because, again, I reviewed his issue publicly and said what I didn't like. So it's like playing hockey. I played a lot of hockey in my day. I was cheap. But if somebody else is cheap to me, I can't really say anything because I'm cheap. I got to take what I can give and give what I can take. So the same deal. But when me and him started talking, I'll defend my position. I was defending my position, and everything he just said was, oh, this will be important. This will end. Half of it, maybe even more, never was. So what I'm saying is I won the argument. But in that whole deal, Ram V did say, and he kind of goes with that in this announcement as well, he writes for himself. He doesn't write with any fans in mind. And I have talked to people about this, and somebody had brought up the idea that Alan Moore almost said the same thing. But what Alan Moore said is, people who read, they're dumb. I know what they want. I will give them what I know they want. Ram V was different. Ram V said, I write for myself. I entertain myself. I don't give a rat's ass. If anybody likes it, that's up to them, whatever. I'm just writing for me. The problem is you're doing something that is, supposed to sell. And a lot of the times his stuff doesn't sell great. I mean, you end up having a Detective Comics. You're going to have some Batman fans in there, and it still didn't sell great. A Swamp Thing did okay, then it didn't, and it just kept getting added issues because he didn't seem to want to end it. But in that, I think that what they'll do is push this Resurrection Man in the vein of a Swamp Thing. Hey, you love the Swamp Thing? Come and read Resurrection Man. I do think that he does have some loyal fans, and I do think that he has a particular writing style that will go well with Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma. Now, one of those things about that, though, is writing style being so particular. It is a weird play, and it's kind of this weird niche that he's in, as he seems to write obscure, darker characters good, and that's not going to ever give you a lot of sales. Even the New Gods, I think he's writing great. It's not going to sell and hasn't sold. The first issue didn't sell that well from everything that we can see. But we'll get into this here. That's my, deal with Ram V. Now, here is the announcement here. Remember, I'm Jim FDTS, falls down the stairs. In this new series, after living and dying his latest life, Shelley awakes with a new purpose to go along with this new latest power saving the universe. According to DC's news release, this version of Resurrection Man must battle across time and space against a sadistic World War II internment camp captain who has inherited a twist version of Shelley's abilities. I'm guessing maybe, I don't know if this is anywhere near continuity, but if it is, they're going to say, oh, that absolute power, they ended up getting some of them abilities, just throw them around willy-nilly. As the lines of Cosmic Order begin to blur, Mitch Shelley, who they end up saying Shelley at first, but the new Resurrection Man, Mitch Shelley, will literally die to save the universe more than once, maybe even twice, maybe 3 times. This is a story I've wanted to tell since I first started writing for DC. V said, it's so weird when it's just V. It's one of those, you can't really separate it from the Ram V. I see V, and if you're old enough, I'm like, oh no, aliens. Said in the news release, it's lingered and stayed and got its hooks into my mind. And my love and excitement for the character and story has only grown. So what Ram V is saying, that since he's come to DC, writing Batman, Swamp Thing, now New Gods, the one thing that he's been just itching to get to is this Resurrection Man story. I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. Ram V, I do think he has lovely hair. I mean, luscious hair. He also tends to try to remind people how smart he is. And this seems odd. But again, maybe it is. Maybe he's there. He's the first person ever to say that he has been wanting to do a Resurrection Man story for years. Part of the joy of writing comics for me is getting to reinvent, reimagine characters in a way that speaks to my own preoccupations and joys. So again, this is what he's saying. He'll always say it, and I'll give him some credit. He stands with it. It is that idea. I'm going to do what I want. Hopefully everybody likes it. It's just sometimes you might want to pull that back and get some people on board with you, but he doesn't seem to care. And with Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, I hope readers will share in my excitement as Anand, Anand RK, colorist Mike Spicer, and letterer Aditya Bidikar, who does a lot of Ram V stuff. And I tell a story of endless lifetimes, saving universes, and falling in love, spanning the length of all existence. And really, isn't that what everything is about? Isn't that what this roller coaster we call life all about? Lifetimes, universes, and falling in love. Maybe, maybe not. But that's about all the info we're getting. It's one of those things that they leak out before the solicits come out. The solicits will be out in a couple of weeks, so you'll end up getting more. But this is something that they want to push on its own, has a little space here. And again, I give DC credit. They are starting to push a lot of these obscure characters, but is that what we need right now? Maybe mix in a couple bigger ones as you go. You end up having the Atom Project where people, oh man, we don't get a lot of, the Atoms and Captain Atom. So that's cool. Hey, Resurrection Man, pretty neat, right? Maybe mix in some of these characters that people have been wanting. Again, I'm just being selfish. I want an Animal Man book because I love Animal Man. But again, I want to hear if anybody is planning on getting it. And if you are planning on getting it, let me know if you're getting it because you like Ram V, or is it because you're a Resurrection Man fan, or you just want something new, or you think it's going to be cool, whatnot. I'd love to hear why people would be into this, including being a fan of Ram V, which, as I said, I'm becoming a little bit more of a Ram V fan. I think I was always more of an indie Ram V fan. I think that that's where he hits, and he usually does hit better with newer characters. When he's on established characters, he tends to get wonky. But again, him saying he likes to reinvent things, whatever, nobody's going to notice with Resurrection Man. So I think it'll be pretty cool. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think this might be pretty decent. So there you go. Positivity for 2025. Probably be reading it and reviewing it here on the YouTube channel, but also on our DC Comics podcast. It's up to Eric on the podcast. And I know that he's not a huge Resurrection man fan either, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that is it. Tell me what you think about it. Thanks, everybody. And I'll talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.